because of the patch. I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure he'll tell me in a second on Skype because I have him there. But if you're in Vengeance, I would love to have some stats on the last time we saw a professional Tidehunter, and the last time a professional Tidehunter won. So. Yeah. And definitely true, but last time we definitely favored Archon's, or you favored Archon's lineup. And
okay, I know why he picked the Tide. That out. The obvious reason why. That's
it's not how this works at all.
Reason.
It doesn't work this way at all. No.
Playing Tide recently, it's really good in pubs, and the only reason you play him is because you that. And then your captain's like, oh my god, fine, just shut up, I'll pick you Tide, and then it wins a game, and you tell him, dude, I told you, I got this.
No,
Yeah,
just no. Let's introduce the teams.
Me.
On Cloud9, we've got MSS rocking that Tidehunter with the new set. Christopher Brax on the Windrunner. Rubik is going to be played up by SVG 1437 on that Dazzle, and finally Ritsu on the carry Slaughter. Oh, and we do have stats in here, so yeah, I'm excited to hear about Tide. Tossing it to you for Archon.
I have Jail on the PA, Whitebeard on the Lich, Fluff and Stuff on the Tusk, which he performed really well on yesterday, so hoping to see similar things. He's on the Mag, who hope Yappies, and New on the Hero, which fills the same role as the Venom. Gives them a decent early team fighting hero with the ability to towers, and also it's a pretty strong safe laner.
I do think the Jakiro isn't as good at the Veno at AoE damage just because you have to line up those spells. It is line as opposed to the huge AoE.
Yeah, but as opposed to... he has more lockdown, and I think he's a bit better earlier. Or Veno kind of gets Ag's Blink up here as well, which I like. He's a bit better at dealing with like these higher lanes. Have to... your sap XP, whereas I feel like Veno needs to get...
Wait, what do you mean he doesn't have to sap XP?
So, well, with Hero he's quite happy to just get his levels here when he realizes it's like an aggressive lane. Whereas Veno, when you're kind of zoned out, you feel like you're Hero. I feel you want to get rolling on that hero to start with.
Okay, that was much, much closer than we thought. We were both very wrong, and it was a win, so...
yeah. I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I do not believe we were in fact the ones causing that one, so yeah. But apparently got some viability. It'll be interesting to see exactly what this Tidehunter can do. Let's talk about this mid lane some. I feel like Magnus should probably lose it, but he can always just skewer for some CS.
I don't know about skewering for CS.
Not skewer, sorry.
For CS.
Shockwave. I, for some reason, call skewer Shockwave. You could theoretically, really awfully, try to skewer for some CS. It would get you killed, but yes, you can Shockwave for CS.
Reasonable. He'll get his levels, he'll get his farm. Windrunner will get better trade though, so mostly what Mag can do outside the laning stage.
Yeah, and as long... oh, they're actually going in deep. No, Jo decides not to commit for... oh, sorry, Brax decides not to commit for that one. I'm a little... yeah, okay. Probably just thought with how choreographed Power Shot is that there was no hope and would rather just get in a position to use the full salve.
Okay, so lane swapping out as well.
Yeah, let's talk about this bottom lane with MSS now versus Moo. What? I feel like you're a pain to the Tidehunter, but Tidehunter's just gonna back out and regen.
I actually think anymore that he has like the level advantage and he still has a decent amount of regen.
Monkeys Forever uses his skewer, and I think that was a mistake, finally me getting the spell right. And now can they get the power shot? Monkeys, can he die to the creeps? Oh, he is the first blood, and instead of the neutrals hitting him, he goes down. He just couldn't get them to aggro him in time. Rubik throws out.
Cooldown went to the high ground.
I'm not sure.
He needed to shock there. Really, that's like millisecond difference though.
maybe still would not have worked. And we see your favorite game mechanic. Actually, no, it's just going for a little bit of a gank. I actually thought Fluff and Stuff was doing the bottle refill, but was actually coming in to lay down some hurt. And that top, they're lifting this Lich. Whitebeard, he's taking too much damage. Jayo's trying to do something, but you're a PA at this early in the game. No such luck. A really nice ice shard, but they're fighting in their opponent's creeps, and Fluff and Stuff's gonna go down as well. Jayo might too if he's not careful. No mana on the supports, but they can bring out those auto attacks. And a really ambitious play there by the lineup of Archon. I feel like if they had the creep advantage, that could have worked, the ice shards block, but they were fighting into an entire creep wave and 3 full health heroes.
Yeah, Dazzle wave is very dangerous. And on top of that, Fluff wasted a mango trying to go for the double before he died, so even more value for Cloud9.
Yeah.
I feel like they knew exactly what Archon were doing. The Veno and Jakiro pretty much interchange each other. They ran the exact same laning setup as well, so Cloud9 had this scouted and it felt like they have a way to deal with it. Probably also why they picked the Tide.
Just because they want to disrupt this,
Yeah, I think they just knew exactly what Archon wanted to do.
Okay. So, Tidehunter,
Here in the lane.
yeah, he's taking quite a bit of harass, but he's going to be a-okay. On the other hand, this does mean Moo gets a lot more out of the lane than he initially expected. Maybe an early Yules to help set up those ice paths. I say, as Tusk is getting ganked again. He does snowball, but I think they have quite a bit. Oh, he tries to TP out, and then it's immediately deaded. That was a really ambitious TP attempt, and then he cancelled to walk away.
I guess he just did. Slardar was there and knew the sports would be able to run him down, but with the Slardar there, he tried to juke the crush, I guess.
Yeah. So.
Dead there, so.
Yeah, really.
Best out of it.
Exactly, and maybe just trying to buy some more time and not actually give the kill over to Brax. So, a lot of these lanes not going so well for Archon. They are definitely falling behind. Do you think with their huge teamfight potential, we have another lift up top, Jayo does manage to blink away, but will Ritsu catch up to him with the slow on him? Throws a dagger, and Ritsu not wanting to engage, Slithering Crush just coming off of cooldown.
Better to play it safe and not give away your advantage here. Has the resolve to heal back, so favourable trade all in all.
Yeah. Jayo's having a really, well, he's died, he's having a lot of aggression thrown his way. His supports have both died. He's getting some CS, you can always CS with that dagger. It feels like he's having a rougher time than maybe if they put him up against the Tide, or would he still have an awful lane down here? Because I feel like Tide can walk up and be a pain, but you can still CS through the Anchor Smash and so on, if you have to.
I think he's farming MML in both lanes, pretty much. I don't think he's missed too much, unless he's been doing what he's doing now, which is where he's like farming full creep. Why his CS is quite high in comparison to his work.
No, he's doing okay. It just feels like there's a lot of aggression, and his team is clearly losing the lane.
Yeah, but I feel like this is better. Hero's like doing fine bottom. He's actually getting levels he can power. Yeah, he's still getting deep so you're just sacrificing the support. So Fluff needs to be a tiny bit better with his rotations.
Speaking of rotations, are we going to see the first Ravage of the game? They have the lift on Moo. They might not even bother to blow up, but with two of them, I think we're seeing a Ravage. And there it is. Moo's going to be going down, and then Fluff and Stuff most likely. And we are going to be 6-0, but here comes Magnus. Can he get any sort of follow-up? He's going for MSS with this haste. Monkey's Breath actually skewers him back with the shockwave, not enough, and he has another, but the shallow grave coming out. Well played there. The next shockwave hits no one, unfortunately, and that's going to be the end of that. They did manage to save Fluff and Stuff's life, but the lack of a return kill there, I think, is really hurting them.
One kill for Ravage is fine as well, especially.
Yeah, this early.
Fortunately, Monkey's full level behind the Windrunner, so he's having a really hard time and not getting the RP up when he had that haste. That was a trick I think he had RP because he ran into all three of them. Fortunately, not having the levels in time. And actually, for a kill top.
Yeah, Jayo is in the danger zone, taking the slow now. Needs someone to blink to, but it's on cooldown. No such luck, and Jayo's just gonna go down. Power shot just in case he got those missed procs with the blow, and that is 6-0. Archon going to be about 3,000 gold behind, and now also losing out on experience. This is not the start they had in the previous game where they ran this strat.
Yeah, and the Rubik's second on Worth. It's been a really long time since I've
Yeah, I mean, that's just he's had involvement in almost all of the kills, and he has in fact got almost all of the kills he's been involved in. Wow, this is a 5-0 Rubik. Yeah, he's a 5-0.
Minus the one bottom.
So this is a huge Rubik.
And that's really big. If he gets like a 15-minute blink, he could get it a bit early, but I'm counting for the fact he's gonna not have as many kills coming in, or he's gonna die once. Get it like 12 minutes if he rate of kill impact. And also the levels are really important. If he's like on par with the Magnus, it's so hard to play that hero.
100%, he'll be able to steal things, he'll be able to lift, how hard, oh, we haven't engaged, we have the lift, Ice Shot coming out, trying to save out Moo. Moo doesn't have it, and doesn't have any points in Ice Shots yet, so he's just gonna miss the dual breath, drop down a zoning Macropire, but they may go in after him, and looks like we're gonna see things end in this engagement, but this thing we're seeing with Jakiro's not putting any points in Ice Ball, I don't like it.
I think it's fine at this point, I'd expect him to get it afterwards. The early levels in duel fight a bit more and a lot more laning presence, which is really important against the Titan, which is who's laning against. I think it's fine. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get it by level 9, maybe an extra point.
And the bottom tower deny there, also really painful. I feel like the one thing that Jakiro was getting out of this lane versus all the other lanes that are having trouble is that he was also pushing the tower, but having it denied out from under them.
They're actually, despite being behind, I feel like the biggest sports, the cores are still doing alright for Archon, so it's not behind as the graph says. 1,000. It doesn't feel as behind.
Lich also, depending on how this goes, he actually might hit his level 6 before the supports on Cloud9, just because of how the split has been in experience, so that could really help out. We've all seen how one big Lich ulti can really help you out, but they had the skewer back. Can they catch Brax in that wind run? Not taking any physical damage or physical auto attacks, but they have more than enough dot, and that is going to be their first kill on the board. But up top, we have a huge big dive, and the TP out. Well played by Deo. He TP'd to the mid lane, going to continue his farm there. That was a 1k gold swing, that kill on Brax, because he was top net worth and because Archon is quite behind.
Oh, that's a point of the game for 1 kill.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure this ward that the Lich placed was scouted by that ward. So, unfortunately he'll get dewarded, but they also caught out a ward for the lineup of Cloud9 and gonna make their mid lane maybe a little easier. But, Ravage, it's back up.
This is a really good point where they can fight this. Fortunately, they're taking a lot of damage just from Liquefy mid, but I expect Archon to know. If they're good with the timing on Ravage, they'll know exactly when it's up. And this D-ward also coming out from 1.7 is really smart, knowing they want to get a ward behind the tower. Game sense.
Yeah. I mean, they saw it with...
Tower is under attack.
They scouted it earlier, so yeah, they know all about it.
You meant this one, sorry, not...
No, yeah, they scouted the one behind, so that was what was going on. No, it's still good,
I expect most support players would know that ward's going to be in that vicinity.
Yeah. It's an
push like that.
Exactly, so... Gonna just be, actually mid-tower maybe in a little bit of danger here, so... Brax able to push that. He's done the skipping focus fire build.
Fine at the moment.
Yeah.
The extra down from focus... from Shackle Shot's really important when you have heroes without blinks. Need to follow up the
Phantom Assassin is a pain to catch out, so a nice thing there. This mid lane
well.
on Brax.
Yeah, he's got the Shadow Amulet. I really like that actually.
Is it just for catching out Magnus potentially and the Phantom Assassin, or?
Just it's slightly less orientated because I feel like linking in teamfights is much more efficient, but they're going to be able to put a lot more pressure on the map with the Shadow Blade. Forced to buy out sentries, and force don't farming by the sentries, they're going to be getting less farm. So being worried about the pick, and it also makes them scale a tiny bit better.
Yeah.
Damage wise.
We've also got some big items that are going to start coming out. Tidehunter is really close to his blink. I think they actually want to hold the next Ravage until he's there. And Magnus is starting to make good progress towards his as well, already rocking those arcane boots. So it'll be interesting to see which of these two teams, the blink I think will come up a little bit earlier on the Tidehunter, who can make stuff happening with their huge teamfight ultis. You can stop. There was English problems there. We'll ignore them.
Starladder's also halfway to hit Link if you just... that's 2 points of time where they can look smoking superior in the fight.
A really nice tackle. Actually brings the Jakira with him, but this is so close. They don't have a tier 1. And now SVG. Oh, he actually Shadow Amulets him, but it's in the middle of the macro pie. This Rubik may be dead. Boris punch in the face. Lich ulti going off to Illusions, and the bounces have stopped. Shackle doesn't land on Whitebeard, and now there's the Ravage, but it actually only he managed to hit 3. But can they follow up on the Windrunner? She is windrunning away, and it looks like Moo is gonna fall as well. But there is an RP up. No one is grouping up for him. Moo walking around trying to put that dot onto people, but he's trying to desperately be bottled up by his teammates, and there, finally, that is the RP they needed. But where is the follow-up damage to skewer away? It actually brings MSS with them, and he's gonna kill off Monkeys Forever. That was not what they wanted out of that team fight, and now Monkeys Forever's MSS still going in. Can they get anything else? Jayo's trying to crit him, and instead, Jayo is now the recipient of, well, actually, he has to share the bounty, but he gets at least a bunch of gold from being involved in killing that Ultra Killer. How it felt like the Ravage, while it caught out 3 heroes, it felt like it didn't catch the Magnus, who was key to a lot of that, and Jayo was still free to go around. But I guess just Magnus not being, being so close to the blink and not having it, really devastating there.
The problem was when the Mag just tries to run in and not anything, forcing heroes to move away, but at the same time Jayo wasn't able to go in because he's just scared. Like, he's not. They're actually going to kill the runner here with that. Stream pick up blocks, look good there. These team fights are not easy when you don't have Blink. If he had Blink, he gets easy 3-man RP and he can use his spell. But because they can see it coming, he's just able to... Sorry, they're able to kite. And I feel like he needs to do something, but
oh, they're gonna get the tower, and now there's gonna be a little bit of a fight. Fluff and Stuff is isolated. SVG, and he goes down, and now Warrior's Punch onto Dazzle. He does have the shallow grave, but he's taking a lot of damage. There it is. Gonna delay the time. Can they have any sort of follow-up? Ritsu is here. He's very close to his blink as well, though, and Ice Shell killing him off, and now Ritsu, he's gonna be further away from his blink if the rest of Archon have anything to say about it. He goes down. MSS manages to get away, but that was not a good team fight, and this back and forth from both lineups showing that they are kind of evenly matched right now.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I really don't understand how they're really good team fight off, but they know they don't have like edge certain points because they don't have Ravage, while Archon still have like the rest of their stuff like
Radiant's
Chain
top
Frost, etc. They didn't have Blink RP for that fight, but they have now. And they're still just like trying to fight into them. I don't understand it. They're actually getting a pick on flip.
Yeah, I caught that one. It was a very ambitious snowball into the Windrunner, who then blunked backwards and brought him deeper, and the rest of his team wanted nothing to do with it. So nice deny there by Brax. But yeah, I'm not even sure. Maybe they just thought, hey, RP's down because, of course, Ravage is down as well. We can probably fight into this, and I think Fluff and Stuff doing a really good job separating people, and then there was a bit of a save your friend syndrome going on, so...
I mean, the Rubik was pretty far out of position. He ideally wants behind his core, but if he gets picked off first, he's a really important hero in these fights.
Yeah. Now, we're getting very close to the point where Rubik is going to have his Blink. Slaughter is getting close to his as well, as is Tusk. I'm assuming that Fluff and Stuff will go a Blink on this Tusk to save more people. This game is going to be full of blinking around.
There's lots of initiation for both sides.
Yeah. And
I played in a DDF, I think. Yeah.
100%. Now, for Jayo here, who may be about to be dead Jayo, what do you build? You've got a free Battle Fury from the Empower. Can you just decide to go super greedy items? Do you need... Oh, goodness. Brax now going to get caught out, snowballed on. Pops that DD Walrus Punch. Is this enough to lock him down? And they get the stun using the Lich Ult. Pops all of his one charges, but it is not enough. And I thought Brax was going to be slain, but he went down instead. We were talking about PA itemization this game.
Why? Or Manta would still be fine. I know he went S and Y to the other game.
Yeah.
Something to come up between you before he goes for the next set of items, I think would be fine. I like Manta this game. You can like dodge the Jackal. You can also dodge, sorry, not dodge, but move damage as well, which helps.
Okay, and Slaughter went down top. I actually missed that, but it looks like a lot was expended for it. they used the RP on him and he went down lickety-split, but managed to catch him out, and he did just get his Blink Dagger, so... Yeah, I feel like he also, at some point, she's gonna have to build an MKB for the Windrunner, so... Phantom Assassin, maybe some tanking up so that she can... I don't think she can afford to be a Glass Cannon this game.
I don't think she will be, because she's got a lot of power. She just builds stats. It scales really well. I think Manta or SNY are definitely next on the cards, probably followed by Basher. Might stop PP. Maybe
also,
even before SNY actually, if they feel they want to fight.
Yeah. We've also got an interesting conundrum here. I feel like both teams need to play around the other's big team fights ult. But of course, Ravage is really, really huge. I feel like if... Certainly Archon can initiate in after the Ravage has been blown, but if they try to go beforehand, the fight could be entirely reset by a Ravage. How do you try to take these engagements? Is it something where Archon needs to try and pick people off using their smokes?
To get Aegis like they're doing now, I think, to be able to feel confident. Cloud9 have just better initiation with the Starladder going in. It's a lot more reliable than an RP, and you feel a lot easier doing it on one hero. And also initiate with shack shots if he's not scouted with entries. Whereas I find it pretty much on the us to go first. It's like the quickest and easiest initiation. Sure, it's alright, but then Mac has to follow up, and going into that when there's Ravage is really bad. But when PA can just Aegis and fight, it's a lot easier.
Oh, they do manage to get the Root on. It's finally picked up by the Phantom Assassin. Lich ulti bouncing really far away, and it's been stolen by SVG. His Rubik play has been on point in the series we've seen. There's the Ravage. Lich is immediately dead, but Jo, he is ready to fight with that Aegis. Throws a long-range dagger, and now what are they doing? It feels like the lineup of Archon's kind of surrounded, kind of split up. Jo gonna be caught on the backlines by Slithering Crush. There comes a Snowball, sending both Brax and Moo. Well played there, but now let's see if Ritsu is going to be able to get out from this shackle of dreams. It looks like Fluff and Stuff may be the one going down, but Jo coming in, seeing what he can do. There's the Wind Run. They used the Shockwave to do something, and MSS is stunned, but that is the first life, and this team fight very quickly going very south for Archon. They secured the Aegis, but it was not enough, and C9 just backing out. I feel like Fluff and Stuff had another really good roll in with the Tusk, but unfortunately it wasn't enough, and it did lead to whoever, they got shackled together afterwards, which just meant that Windrunner could pick them off with the amp damage on them. They took like 3 shots from her.
Yeah, I think that would have even gone worse if it wasn't for the fact that the high ground on Starladder. If he was in the fight, I think they'd have lost like more heroes. PA twice, getting the Aegis.
Yeah. So, and that's what I mean about Ravage. It felt like, oh, actually, Lich is gonna go, maybe not, can he be saved by a Phantom Assassin? But it looks like Whitebeard taking way too much damage, and Jo just not quite sure how to seal the deal here. Ice Shards are gonna block Brax out. They have to know that everything's on cooldown, and they should be able to see he has no mana. Walrus Punch up, he's being forced off away, but they don't have follow-up now. All of their big teamfight ultis are down, but there's the Shallow Grave. This gank is taking them years. They should still be able to catch out Brax, and there's the dot to make sure they get it, but no, the physical attack didn't land because of the Wind Run coming out in time, and if Brax makes it out of here alive, this is ridiculous. And he does, in fact, get out using the Shadow Blade as well. That must be so frustrating for Archon. Felt like that kill was firmly in their grasps, and he just slips away again.
That's really annoying when you're playing. You know, they're actually going to find Tusk here.
Yeah.
Just a bit over-aggressive on his positioning.
Savage getting some good use, SVG getting some good usages out of that while he still has it, so it's going to expire soon. And Fluff and Stuff, I still think Fluff and Stuff is playing really well on this Tusk. I do not think he's having the easy game that he had yesterday.
Oh, this game it was harder for him to rotate around because the lanes weren't as easy for him to capitalize on. So still got a decent time though, and he's definitely got the ability to save his team this game. So if the PA from a Ravage or a slide up Blink, Crush or a Shackle, then he's done his job. Doesn't need to do more.
Pardon? He just
do too much more than just save his teammates when they get in bad spots, which he should be able to do now he's got his Blink.
It does look like Jo's going the Sant and Yasho. As we've said, SVG already has his Blink up. Windrunner now working on her Ags, but we're also seeing a Shadow Blade coming out of Magnus. He doesn't want to be the only one left unable to get a good jump off.
he went for it second last time as well, and I like it over the 4. Because otherwise it's hard for him to go in with Blink. They can react to Cloud9, whereas with Shadowblade it's get him a bit more time.
Yeah,
and it also makes you hit harder.
100%. Now, I wonder for Archon how early these BKBs are going to come out. It does feel like with that one big teamfight spell, yeah, they do have a lot of physical damage as well on C9, but it's certainly something where they seem to be being punished very heavily by these Ravages, and of course, you can just BKB that. So I wonder if Archon is going to prioritize that as the next items for some of their heroes in hopes of surviving that initiation.
I don't think it's a hero item, but Mag and PA could definitely stop off for one. I wouldn't be surprised if JO opts for it next, because he has decent damage with the SNY completed now. Flying out. A bit away from his, but I could definitely see it next.
Yeah. And Jakiro's saving up a lot of gold for something. Already has the mech, isn't going the Guardian Greaves, and has the Yules up. Oh, it looks like we have a smoke. This positioning seems to be... Or everybody just needed something from the courier. That happens too, I guess.
They want to push out this wave, then they're gonna have one on fluff.
Always a small thing to do. If you've got one lane pushing in, actually top might even give it away. They might need to push that one out too, but when you have a lane pushing in like this, your opponents know. Oh, well thank you. Oh yeah, I love it when this thing gets stuck. There we go. The drawing tool. I had it stuck on my cursor. Happens a lot to me in Reborn.
They definitely want realizing it wasn't the idea, the correct idea, but now they're going to fight bottom. Not sure if they smoked in range of this ward, they might have slightly out of range.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Maybe seen it's coming because they're playing up a bit more passively, looking someone off and steps out.
I mean, I think that they want to hopefully jump someone here, the lineup of C9, and they're gonna realize there's actually a blink forward. Tusk going in onto SVG. They've already baited out the shallow grave. This could be a great team fight for Archon if they can just find it. There's gonna be a nice shackle onto Fluff and stuff, and they picked off the Rubik, but Brax has that haste. They have to find someone using monkeys, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to get it off. He actually solo RPs Brax, but the Ravage, there it goes, on all of them. The Ice Wall's doing good work as well, but now here comes Ritsu with quite a bit of damage, and everybody getting really low on both teams. MSS is still full health though, and they managed to pick up Ritsu. Can they stop this TP? No! Brax manages to get out. MSS will probably pay for this with his life, but he will probably, do a bit of damage to us, even using the Shadow Blade and the Shockwave. And what is this courier doing? Save your golden Doomling! He's gonna be able to walk it off just fine. But that's, I feel like, baiting out the Shallow Grave and then killing that hero, just potentially something that won them that fight, because then Ritsu had to go in with no support.
Yeah, they just lacked damage once they used the Ravage. Ritsu doesn't have enough damage. Brax doesn't have quite enough to be able to do that. Rubik's still a big part of the fight, so him dying first was a deal. So just being able to catch RP is also even the spot you want to be in. Even if he gets help with the Ravage, he's still in the middle of 5 heroes, which is not ideal.
Yeah, did you think it was... I was a bit worried about the Solo Man LP when it first came out. It seemed to have worked for them. Do you think it's worth it?
All they needed to do that fight. Yeah. They'd already secured the 5-on-5 by taking out the Rubik. So if they managed to find a hero, it was pretty much free. If Cloud9 then committed, they felt confident to be able to 5-on-4. Get any extra pick off worth it.
Yeah, definitely. So... really well done there from Archon, and while I would say there's still a bit behind, it feels like, actually going on Moo again, there's going to be a Walrus Punch, I think, holding out so he doesn't just TP, he does immediately use the Shackle, but there's so many heroes around. Ice Ball gonna be the setup, and I don't think Brax has a way out, and I just called him Moo, didn't I, because he has bloody Moo on the end of his name. Damn it, Brax.
What's a Moo in that engagement?
Yeah, but, I don't know. We'll just pretend I didn't do anything wrong. Much like we do, often. Times. So, looking at this game, they're getting some really good pickoffs on Archon. They've managed to bring the team net worth advantage back down to 0. They're also a little bit ahead in experience. Do you think, as I say this though, yeah, it looks like Tusk is in the danger zone, but his entire team is coming to back him up, and it might be SVG that goes down. Walrus Punch doing work, and 1-4-3-7, you are not getting out of this one alive. You'll stop so he can't TP, and he's gonna fall here, I think. Do they get the lucky crits? MSS is trying to actually chill around a little bit. He didn't take damage there from those ice shells though, and they're going in on Ritsu now as well. Snowball and the Lich ult he committed doesn't actually bounce to him more than once, but look at all that farm on the Lich from those streaks. I love that. Suddenly it feels like Cloud9 falling apart in the team fight after team fight.
I one or two small mistakes, it's just falling out of control every time they do something. Archon have a really good lineup for capitalizing on it though.
Radiant's middle tower
Get out
is
of
under
position,
attack.
yeah, you can chase daggers,
Radiant's
there's Link,
middle
your
tower has
hero, and it's hard to fight into them when they...
Now, it's not all lost at all. I feel like this PA really, before she can bring a lot of hurt to the Windrunner, does need the MKB, although Phantom Assassin has saved up. We have a lot of rich people, all of a sudden. Phantom Assassin leading the charge with 4.3k gold, so it could just be, hey, I'm gonna buy a straight MKB in a second. But also Archon is very rich again.
They've been getting objectives as well as the team, so for the rest of the team. Yeah, up for a BB. I would best to be up, tank up a tiny bit and go for something like Skadi. But this is a more offensive choice, which I like. Hero, he could finish the Vlads. He's in range of that. Maybe he lets his supports get it instead and he gets a more impactful item. I'm not too sure what he'd want to go. Maybe a Lotus Orb.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Monkeys is about to build a refresher, but it also could be a Lotus Orb potentially, but most likely a refresher. Very common on Magnus as a hero, and we have dual roaming smokes. I feel like both teams should have a good idea of what's happening, but maybe C9. Oh goodness, yes. Hello, Courier. And do they kill it? No, they don't manage to kill the Courier, but now it knows, and they're coming in. They do have the Ravage up though, so we're gonna be seeing that come out. But the BKB is popped, and he kills up the Tidehunter before he can do anything. Now Brax is in a lot of trouble, has to use that wind run, but RP gonna burn through that cooldown. Brax is shallow graved up, but I don't think that's gonna be enough. And now they're gonna kill off Britsu. So it was Britsu shallow grave. They were right on top of each other, and now can they catch out 1437? They're probably gonna get the Rubik, yeah, and now just, you know, PA casually doing the Rostom swap and stuff will do some good work to 1437, and they punch him down. They were actually taking a crap ton of damage. I don't know if you saw that, but Dazzle's auto attack onto Fluff and stuff did like a fourth of his health because he had the Dazzle weave and he had the minus armor from Slaughter on him.
And fortunately, but
did they just steal a gem?
They do a buttload of damage.
They just got a gem for free as well. They had just bought, well not just, they'd only 5 minutes ago on C9 had they bought a gem. And now it's immediately into the hands of Archon. It's not as bad as it could be, you know, it's not that, oh, I literally just bought the gem, but they have put themselves in a bad position for this game. And I
think that was pretty much immediately.
No, it's apparently it's on cooldown for only 4 more minutes, like 5 more minutes, so it means it wasn't quite
like 3 or 4 minutes ago when they killed the... Anyway, very big. It's 900 free gold, and the Tusk pick up an item instead of buying one himself.
Yeah, really nice. And map control, we've talked about this before. Map vision, it's why Night Stalker was so in demand. Map vision wins you games. You can't beat map vision. So... Now, I also think a lot of what happened there was, even though there were actually other members of Archon around, it felt like MSS was really trying to hold his Ravage until the BKB on JO was done.
You get situation, it's really hard at the side. You know you have to lock down the PA, but at the time your team's dying while. He has the force in the mech, so you can kind of help them survive throughout.
Oh, they catch out 1437 in mid. And JO actually gets a dagger to finish off.
No, like, no one has buyback here. They
yeah.
Secure rats.
Oh, I'm gonna teach you a trick because for some reason all my co-casters, despite all of you being pretty damn good at Dota, don't know this. You know when someone has buyback, it shows the gold lining?
Yeah, I actually saw that on Reddit like years ago, but I still always buyback status.
Oh my goodness. You and, like, multiple of the 5k players I co-cast with, like, don't look at that. Yeah, anyway, either way, JO's just gonna stand up here and take it. He can do this with the Aegis. It's very easy for them to slow siege, especially with a Jakiro, and I think at least the tier 3 will fall here. They do still have Ravage up on C9, and they also have the RP, of course, harder to land a really good RP here, but Fluff and stuff, he's just ready to go in hand. He's gonna get lifted, might get punished here, and there it is, Windrunner's just gonna kill him off. No, they get the mech out in time, but you can see how much damage he took from each of those auto attacks with the amp damage. There's gonna be a dual breath because Britsu is suddenly out there, and they do land a nice Shackle, the immediate yield up from... Oh, but there is the RP into the Ice Vault as well. Macropile on the deck. What a beautiful combo. Brax is dead. That's the main part of their damage, and SVG might be following if he's not careful, but JO just deciding, yeah, got my BKB up. Let's get ourselves a rack. They still have Ravage. MSS, I don't think wants to use it here, and I think they just decide to lose the racks. Save the Ravage for something else.
Radiant's middle barracks fall.
because they needed to be luckier. I mean, she also has the empower. Oh goodness!
Did was they dropped someone's model and let the PA so popped it at the right time.
Is under attack.
I'm not gonna say it wasn't the game, but definitely
Oh, 5-man Ravage team! MSS let it be known that he is very, very good at the Tidehunter as their throne explodes. But yeah, a drop from Archon that we felt like Cloud9 understood what they needed to do against this drop, but not enough. And maybe it was the Tidehunter, maybe it was some other stuff going on there. But either way, we're getting ourselves a game 3 from this set, and Cloud9, as we've talked about before, they are 1-1 in their group. If they lose this, they're 1-2. They are most likely out. Oh, not most likely. You're out of first or second place contention. So they really want to